All information in this program is known to be accurate at the time of recording. Any commentary by the host is for discussion purposes only. Anyone labeled a person of interest by the host or family has not been charged with a crime. All suspects charged with crimes related or unrelated to a case covered are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Opinions and views expressed by the host do not represent views of the families or sponsors of this program. Hi, welcome to this Grimm Media News episode, Revelations, Joseph Lil Joe Boehm. I'm your host, Steve Stone, host and producer of the Grimm Truth Podcast. Joseph Lil Joe Boehm went missing over 20 years ago, 21 years now. And he came from a small town, Marshall, Texas, where it seems like the small town good old boy network runs rampant. When Joe disappeared, which we covered on the podcast, and I'll leave a link in the description below. When we covered this case, it always seemed to me that people closest to Joe, and even people in the town, knew more than everybody else did. And after 21 years, nothing. The cops aren't even investigating. Hell, you can't even get them to call you back. You know, when I started working on this case last year, I thought that we would get, involvement and other things that would make sense, and we could start lining things up. And all we've gotten are closed mouths and rumor, speculation, innuendo. But during the course of our investigation, because no one else is investigating, not the Texas Rangers, not the police, nobody is doing a thing. This man is just poof, gone off the face of the earth. So during our investigation, we uncovered a list of names. We uncovered a story. I don't know whether it's true or not. That's what we're trying to find out. There's a reward for Joe, $10,000 reward. It might have gone up. I can't recall, but there's a huge reward out for Joe. Huge. No one's come to claim it. No one's offered help with the investigation. Everybody wants to keep their mouth shut. I'm hoping that this video changes that, because we need people to talk. Now, I get it. Small town. Everybody's scared of the big bad boogeyman. Well, who is the boogeyman? I have an idea, and it seems like everybody has an idea. There's this idea that there's this collective, this group of good old boys that they know where all the bodies are buried. Quotations. They know where all the bodies are buried. They know all the muckety muck. They know where what happened. They know it all. So let's get down to brass tacks. We have what I call the martial law. Martial law in Marshall, Texas there's only one law, and that's keep your mouth shut. You don't say anything. As long as you don't say anything, you got no problems. If you say something, you might disappear too. And folks, it doesn't have to be that way. I get it. I get it. If I don't live where you live, and there are places all across this country that if you say something or say the wrong thing, or you stand up to evil, something could happen to you. Is that a risk? Yeah, that's a risk. But can you imagine having lived 21 years and not knowing where your relative is? Can you imagine that? You would want someone to help you. I mean, if we take a step back and we look at it from the reality, we would all want someone to stand up and say something. But not in this case. Point in fact, we got the roommates. We've got Jason Briggs, Angelia Phillips. They were there the night, quote unquote, Lil Joe went missing. They don't say anything. They don't talk. Coley was going to talk in the beginning. He didn't. He didn't say a word. He said he was going to talk. He didn't talk. Kept his mouth shut. Probably because of fear. Angelia, can't find her. Off the grid. And again, probably for the same reason. She's scared. But do I think they know something? Absolutely. Jason was supposed to be Lil Joe's best friend. They were supposed to be hunting buddies. They were living together. And Joe disappears, doesn't take his wallet, nothing. Not his cigarettes, nothing. I don't know about you. I used to smoke. I quit a decade ago. But I know I wouldn't leave anywhere without my cigarettes or a can of dip or whatever I was doing. That nicotine, it came with you. So I don't buy it. But they know. They definitely know. Martial law. Don't say nothing. Well, as we kept digging in and digging in and digging in, over the year, names have come up. There was some brave people anonymously who came forward and started giving us some names, dropping some names. And these names have come up in the investigation. Again, we are not saying they're not saying they did anything. They're involved. Names came up in the investigation of people that may know something. So let's dive into that. Let's go into the people that may know something. We have Hermie Heim. I'm not making that name up. That's an actual person. Michael Patterson, Melissa Dunn, Jimmy Humphreys, and another individual who I'm going to keep that person's name anonymous, but this anonymous person gave us the story of what happened to Lil Joe that I'm not going to discuss here in this video, because I want to see if we can get movement. I want to see if we can get information. Again, these are names that came up during our investigation. And it didn't come up just once. They came up twice. Hermie Heim, Michael Patterson, Melissa Dunn, Jimmy Humphreys, and this anonymous individual. Now, why do we put these names up? Because we want to generate leads. Because no one's looking. Not one person. I don't know who the law is in Marshall or what they do, but they're not investigating this case. Lil Joe didn't just take off and go on, what do they call him, a walkabout and disappear and leave his life. That didn't happen. Something happened to him. Someone made it happen to him. And maybe one of these people can shed some light on it for us. At the end of the day, he's missing. Presumed dead. And someone has to know something. I know the Marshall Police Department, they're eagerly standing by waiting for your call. If you know anything about Joseph Lil Joe Boehm, who went missing on January the 25th, 2001, he was 6 foot, 130 pounds, brown hair, hazel eyes, had a tattoo of a rebel flag on his right upper arm, a scar on his forehead. If you have any information at all, operators are standing by at the Marshall PD, 903-935-4540. They're eagerly awaiting your call because they're doing absolutely nothing right now in the meantime. I'm going to say this again. No one's pointing fingers. We're just trying to get information, and we're trying to find out what happened to Little Joe. And the people that we've named today in this episode, we don't know. We've heard stories, but we want to get to the truth. The family deserves that. Joe deserves that. And it's 21 years overdue. Again, so if you have any information, please contact the lovely people at the Marshall Police Department at 903-935-4540. You can remain anonymous. And if you don't want to talk to them, if you don't trust the police, and you want to talk and you want to be anonymous, email me, stevestone@thegrimtruth.com, stevestone@thegrimtruth.com, 2 M's, or you can message me on Facebook Messenger at The Grim Truth. There down below. We need your help. We need to find Little Joe, and we need to bring peace to this family, and we need to get to the truth. Thank you for watching this episode of Grimm Media News, Revelations, Joseph Little Joe Boehm. I'm Steve Stone, and we are the media for the missing. God bless.